Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back to iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you because we have breaking news, and this is really, really good. Rosie's going after critters. We got the Mr. Crocodile, Mr. Shark keeping us safe. But it was just ruled unconstitutional for red light cameras to be used in Florida, which this is the beginning of this being stopped in every single state. So I want to get into this because I want to thank, first of all, Gary from Florida sending me this because this is huge. Here's a judge, again, that finally did the right thing, Stephen DeLuca, which we're all going to know his name because for those of you that had a red light camera that have been hit with that shenanigans and trying to explain, I wasn't there, I wasn't speeding, whatever, it's, you know, it's unconstitutional right now, they ruled. Now, the beauty of this is I want to go through this with you because it's really, really good. Florida versus Kayla McFadden was a case where she said, wait a second, this doesn't seem fair. I've got a presumption of guilt first before innocence, and the ruling came through. Traffic infractions under 31683 are quasi-criminal, not merely civil. You know, one thing that a girlfriend told me, and that is she's a criminal defense lawyer. She goes, people don't realize when you do certain things, you're in trouble, and you can act like it's no big deal. But think about this. Don't pay your traffic ticket. Don't. Watch what happens. They will then send you notices after notice, and then they will send you out for a bench warrant. So if you ever get pulled over again, you're going to get arrested. How fun is that? Okay, so again, it's not just civil. The average traffic citation in the United States basically is $158. Here in California, that would be free compared to what they are because they're just ridiculous. Rosie loves it when I'm in the backyard. She's investigating. Weather's good. Rainstorm's gone. Oh. Again, the statute for this creates a presumption of guilt. So, again, they list all these courts: Sandstrom versus Montana, Francis versus Franklin, and Tupper versus City of St. Louis. Now, what this means, in that I did download the ruling that this guy did, which is over 20 pages. I think it's 21 pages. It's great, but read that because the link will be below for you to read it because this is ridiculous. Now, here's the thing about this. Okay. If you've got a traffic citation and you want to fight it, I would submit this legal brief because, you can do this without being a lawyer. You can say, listen, hey, they determined this is unconstitutional. It's going to come to a state. It's going to come to this state soon. Now, constitutional challenge, every red light citation issued is potentially affecting millions of tickets. $1.2 billion in fines were accredited to it last year. And there's a company called Stop the Cams. Now, again, this is a big deal. Thank you, Gary, for sending me this because it's good. Rosie's on patrol, okay? Thank you, Rosie. Yeah. So the next thing, guys, is you've got speed cameras that have been set up. And speed cameras are the same thing. You drive through an area and that car goes through it. They look at the license plate, and from there they will issue a citation because Dan drove 90 in a 35 zone. Well, wait a second. I'm not driving that. My idiot son was in town, and he whipped through that construction zone. So what they're doing now is they're giving a specific set of parameters for this. So they have all these rules now that they cannot just issue these tickets willy-nilly. And God, I love this. It's such great news. Okay, it really, really is, because it's one thing. We all need to be safe. You need to slow down. You need to pay attention. Put your phone down. I just did a video on how insurance was dramatically affected by people touching their phone. That is the law. There's a thing called the touch law. You're not even allowed to touch your phone. And a friend of mine wrote me after that, says, I was in an Uber and the guy had to pull over to the side of the road to make changes on the app. He was so paranoid about getting a ticket while driving my buddy around. Now, the speed cameras. Where are speed cameras legal? Think about this. You go through certain states and they have to be posted. You know, a few states said that they're legal. Maryland, Illinois, Oregon. Here in California, there's multiple cameras in multiple areas. Arizona, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. States that strictly prohibit speed cameras are Texas, New Jersey, New Hampshire, Wisconsin, and Mississippi. There's a red light camera here that they took them down because the company was faulty. This was, gosh, guys, 20 years ago, and the red light camera company was profiting from the red light cameras and overcharging people and threatening people's licenses. And once again, who is the red light company? They're not the cops. They're not a governmental agent. They're a private entity working for the state or working for the municipality and the cities. And it's terrible. Hi, sweetheart. How you doing, baby doll? Thank you. So, again, illegal. I had an employee that thought he got a red light camera in one of my vehicles and said, hey, how long do you think that'll take for Dan to get that in the mail? And I don't know, 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. He goes, well, okay, I got to quit between now and then because I can't afford the ticket when he sees my picture, up there. So these tickets have been out there for a while. Funny story, I, number one, was the head of the class suing the Southern California toll roads because they overcharged us. They would charge you $2 for a toll, and then all of a sudden they would charge you a $70 fine for missing the payment. Well, my ex-wife thought it would be funny to do two things. Cancel the credit card that was on the account, so we didn't know that we were driving through tolls, with a little transponder, admitting guilt and being guilty, excuse me. And then when the bills came, she kind of ripped them up. So that's that. These are terrible, guys. These are horrible things that people have to fight, and they're unconstitutional, and this is so beautiful. So look at this ruling. If you are the victim of any of these or any of your friends, share this stuff. Share this stuff because, the enforcement of these speed cameras and the red light cameras are very simple. The enforcement is done through the local municipalities, but these private companies make a fortune on it. And that's what they were never designed for this. They were never designed for this. So let me know what you think. You guys have ever fought anything like this? The speed cameras, all this stuff. It's terrible. They want to just control us so badly. But things like this make it so that you have a constitutional argument. You can sit there and say, "Dan, it doesn't apply to California. They didn't determine it unconstitutional." You're a fool, okay? If they determine something unconstitutional, you have a legitimate right to make that argument. This ruling that this guy wrote is so solid gold. And Judge DeLuca, thank you, Judge DeLuca. So let me know what you think. Plus, we have a sponsor today, and that's BrightAnswers.ai. If you guys want to try an internet search engine that is different, it's not ChatGPT, it is something exciting. And that, in other words, what they've done is they've put a few 100,000 books inside of this. They've put 100,000 books. They've put a few 100,000 research papers that were put into this, and it curates everything from finance, health, food. You can ask it questions, but go to BrightAnswers.ai. They're a great company, and I love it. I love doing it because it's different. It's different, and it's its own little engine. So check it out today. Now, in closing, guys, what else is not legal out there? When you go out and you use your you're driving and you get stopped, basically, I don't care what anybody says, you're under arrest when the cop pulls you over. And one of my favorite things is live PD, when they show the live cameras from around the country. But it's ridiculous because now for them to say that you're not, being held is unbelievable. Just ask them if you're free to go, and they're going to say, hang on a second, I'm not done with my investigation yet. So you're criminally responsible for this right now. So, like, subscribe. I appreciate each and every one of you. I love this breaking news stories. But again, Gary, thank you for sending me this. If you guys ever want to send me anything like this and you say, hey, this is important, this is good, That's what Gary did this morning, and it got moved to the front of the class. So I'm glad I could do a little breaking news video for you here on iAllegedly. Like, subscribe, email me, hello@iallegedly.com. See you soon.